Welcome to Spectrum Colored Glasses. Who am I? Dr. Nico DePaz, mother of sons on the autism spectrum, PhD, BCBA, owner of a private practice supporting families of children with autism. Why am I here? To share my story in hopes that it can make someone's life just a little better. And today's topic, the moment I knew. The moment I knew my child had autism. How could I possibly know that? That's hard to say, but I remember driving in the car. My husband was driving, I was in the passenger seat, and my son was in the back behind me in his car seat. And I turned and called his name just for something, just for fun, and we were playing, or I thought we were playing, and I called his name, and he didn't respond. And I called his name again, and I called his name again, and he ignored me. I don't even want to say he ignored me. He just didn't respond. And that really, it freaked me out. I was like, oh my God, my heart starts racing. And I actually turned my body around and kept saying his name over and over. And then it wasn't until I touched his knee that he looked up. And so I turned back around, sat in my chair. My husband said, "Are you okay? Is everything okay?" I said, "Yes, of course." But that's not what I was really thinking. My mind sort of did a flashback to when I was an undergrad working with children with autism. And then after that, being in the special ed field as an autism specialist, inclusion specialist, in-home behavior therapist. So all of those experiences sort of flooded back into my mind. And I'm sitting here thinking, does my son have autism? Like, wouldn't that be weird? Given that was something that I had devoted my life to, and I had done so because I loved interacting with the children on the spectrum, and I started doing it, working with the districts and working with families, and to be quite honest, I got burnt out. I found that I was in the middle. I had parents where I would be in their homes and I would see that they're distraught and they were sad. And then I would go to schools and sit in IEPs and see these parents crying, and seeing the school administrators, teachers, staff appear to be unaffected by the parents' tears and somehow offended, as if this parent was asking for too much. And after doing that over and over and over many, many, many times, it just did not sit right with my spirit. And I said, I can't do this anymore. I'm a pawn in the system, and it's a system that is broken, and I have zero power or control of this system, and I just don't want to play this game. So I said, okay, I'm not doing special ed anymore. I'm off the autism train. I'm going to do other things with my life, which I did. But then he came, my son. He was born. And the white hot poker moment, that's what I call it. And it was hard. It was hard to sit with that thought or that idea that something might be or might not be, but still I think my body knew, my mind knew, even before I wanted to admit that I knew, but I did. And so I think that sharing this story, the moment I knew, is a great way to express to you as a parent, you know, you know, and it does not take anybody else telling you, you know. We took him to the pediatrician and said, does he have autism? This is 2-year checkup. Does he have autism? No, he doesn't. He's attached to you. He's showing emotion. He didn't look at me when I came in the room, but so no. And I couldn't sort of get rid of that feeling. So I said, okay, I need a second opinion. And I did that. It took 7 months, though. It took 7 months for us to have that appointment. So let's say pediatrician appointment September, and then the assessment appointment 7 months later. So almost a year later. And in that time, I'm actually glad I had that time because I got to sit with that idea. What did that look like? It looked like me at Target in their little cafe area, bawling my eyes out, just crying, not caring who was looking, but I just had a moment of absolute sheer fear, breakdown, not knowing what's about to happen, not knowing if I was ready for this to happen, just a flood of emotion. And when your emotions come, it does not matter where you are. And for me, I happened to be shopping and had to just sit and cry, which actually led me to therapy. I am not ashamed to say that. When I was waiting for my son's diagnosis, yes, I started therapy because I needed to talk about all these things, all these thoughts that were rushing in my mind, the things that I was afraid of. What is it that I think is coming? And if it is, how am I going to handle it? Like all of those things. And going to weekly therapy helped me to sort some things out so that by the time we had our appointment, I expected it. I expected that, yes, he was going to get a diagnosis. I know that's what this is. And sure enough, yeah, that's what it was. He had autism. And so I say to you again, as a parent, as a mother, if you have any feelings or inklings about your child or thinking that he or she may have some challenges, it doesn't have to be autism. It could be anything. But I really feel strongly that as parents, there is a knowing there. There is a knowing. And I want to say, if you didn't have that knowing, that's okay, right? Me sharing with you is not about what's right, what's wrong. It's not about you should do this or should not do this. There's no blame here. There's no blame game. Only support, right? So I just want you to be kind to yourselves. Even if you think back to your diagnosis story, what that looked like for you, maybe things you didn't see and now you're seeing it. Be gentle with yourself. Don't go back and say, I should have seen this, or don't beat yourself up. Just know that this is what you have. My child has this diagnosis and we are going to be okay. We're going to work together, you and your child. So the moment I knew, take care of yourselves.